My college had a screening for this movie earlier in the evening, and I decided to go just to go out of the dorm, not worry about homework and all that. So I get there, and upon arriving to the theater, I I get there and I see hundreds of glares from female students. I'm literally one of few men that are there, and I see these I see these students, and they're not formally dressed, but they're all like dressed nicely. Most of the female students, they have dresses, and some of them even had jeans. I mean, my God. I get there, and what do I wear? A shirt, some soccer pants, and my sandals. So yeah, awkward. Hello, YouTube world. My name, TheeAwesomeDJ, and welcome to another episode of DJ's Reviews. Today we're going to be looking at the critically acclaimed documentary directed by Academy Award nominated director Kirby Dick, The Invisible War. The Invisible War takes an in-depth look at all the sexual assault and rape cases that occurred amongst women in the history of the military. The film follows various women that have worked in the many fields of the military, including the Navy, the Marine Corps, the Army, the Coastal Guard, and all that stuff. And they pretty much tell the stories of how they were sexually assaulted or raped by the higher ranking officers and how they had to deal with that afterwards and how their lives were affected by it. This movie leaves no heartstrings behind. They pull every little string of your heart, every single pathos in your body that you have, and they just use it to your advantage because the stories that these women tell of their experiences and the horrible things that they had to go through while working in the military. It's just very emotional and very grotesque, and it's very sad on how they had to deal with it, and very cruel on how people didn't really believe them, and they pretty much had to stay quiet all their lives. Like I mentioned before, this movie is directed by Kirby Dick, one of my favorite documentary directors, and probably one of my favorite directors of all time. He directed such movies like Twist of Fate, Outrage, and my personal favorite, This Film Is Not Yet Rated, which takes an in-depth look on how movies are rated, the people that deal with the ratings, and directors who had to deal with those ratings, and famous movies that probably would not have been made if it wasn't for the ratings that they were given and the amount of shots that they had to remove in order to keep the movies from not being shown in theaters. And once again, Kirby Dick delivers with an outstanding documentary. Um, I mean, I don't know about this man. I mean, this guy is just a very talented director. He knows how to pull on the heartstrings of his audience. He knows how to use pathos to his advantage, and he mixes that with information that he's found from his research on the issue that he's currently doing. And this documentary is probably one of my favorites, probably right up there with This Film Is Not Yet Rated. He takes an in-depth look on an issue that nobody wants to talk about. He takes an in-depth look on an issue that has been covered up by the military, that has been ignored, that people don't really want to talk about. And those type of movies are movies that I enjoy. Those are the type of movies that I really enjoy because the directors, they go out of the norm. They go. He could have easily directed some movie about government or the economy, but we all know that. We all know that. So he went all out and beyond and directed some a movie that we did not expect. We did not expect something like this to be made because of the issue involved. We did not expect a director to make a documentary on a sensitive issue like this because this is an issue that most people don't really want to talk about. This issue is a very sensitive issue, both for the audience and for the victims involved. This movie includes interviews with the victims, senators who are on committees to stop this heinous act, and they pretty much follow the lives of the victims. One of my favorite stories that one of my favorite people that they involved is this one lady who was raped and while serving in the Coast Guard, and they kind of show her because of the violence that she took, which one of the acts of violence that she had to take was that the person who raped her had punched her right in the face, and because of that, her disc and her jaw were completely shattered. And one of the storylines that they go with is to to follow this woman in her life and the pains that she has to go through with the jaw and just the hassle that she has to deal with the insurance company on trying to get a surgery that she wants to have covered. And it's just a really good storyline, and it also follows a lot of storylines, including a woman who wanted to commit suicide after that. One of the things that I liked about this movie is that they show that most of these women they show how the whatever happened to them, whether it be sexual assault or rape, how it really affected their lives, and you can tell it really affected their lives. Most of them have post-traumatic stress disorder. Some of them are on medications, whether it be for pain, physically or mentally, and it's just a very heartbreaking documentary. I did a little research on this movie, and I found out that this movie won an audience award from the Sundance Film Festival, and I am not surprised because this movie is really good. Kirby Dick once again delivers with a fantastic documentary, and one of the aspects that I also enjoyed was their pretty much putting it out there for the audience to know that the military just does not give a shit on for women who have been raped. And you can tell by the stories of these women that these things could have easily been avoided if the military can just take one step forward and do something about it. This movie also includes data that Kirby Dick found out, which include and some of the data includes that 25% of women who have been raped don't report it because the people they have to report it to is the person who raped them, which is very shocking. And there are several data that he includes in the including that there's the majority, not the majority, but more than half of the people who are recruited to the military have committed or have done or attempted to rape somebody. And it's a very touchy issue. It's a very touchy documentary. I will say that. I will say that this movie can get emotional. It can be a little shocking. Okay, and it can be a little too much for some people. But I know for some of the people who enjoy Kirby Dick's work, you will enjoy this documentary. This documentary is probably one of Kirby Dick's finest. The Invisible War is certainly one of those movies that you definitely need to see, especially since they cover a topic that nobody wants to talk about or nobody wants to, come near. And I think you guys should definitely check it out. I'm gonna give this movie a perfect 5 out of 5. You guys should definitely check it out. It's definitely worth watching. And once again, my name is TheeAwesomeDJ, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.